Likely ran out the door with her suitcase, longing for life to be more than a sandwich and underwear and patronizing parents. The fog had never been so thick as it was that night. Likely dripped through the fog and the foggy ground clouds, with tears running down her cheeks. And then she ran smack dab into the end of the rope. She wondered if she was finally at the end of her rope.
It doesn't have to be this way.
Why does it have to be this way? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't the world change? Why can't the sun shine again instead of the rain that's pouring in? Can't you hear me? Can't you see me? I'm trying to change this. I'm catching all the rain, put it in my pocket, 'cause I don't know how else I'm gonna stop it, 'cause I don't want it to rain no more. I'm catching all the rain, put it in my pocket, 'cause I don't know how else I'm gonna stop it, 'cause I don't want it to rain. I'm catching all the rain, put it in my pocket, 'cause I don't know how else I'm gonna stop it, 'cause I don't want it to rain no more. I'm catching all the rain, put it in my pocket, 'cause I don't know how else I'm gonna stop it, 'cause I don't want it to rain.
All 10 of her little fingers wrapped around the thick rope. Before she could think twice, she pulled with the force of an entire lifetime of fog. At first it seemed nothing was happening, and then the bell began to ring. She ran over to the bench and dragged it to the rope. She scrambled up on the bench and stood as tall as her little girl tall could be.
Black, please, everybody, come out of your houses. You can hear the bell. It used to ring to bring everybody together, and I'm not going to stop ringing it until you come.
She reached out from her perch to pull the rope again.
It doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to be alone.
She felt the bell ringing in her bones.
Come out, wherever you are.
Likely looked down, saw the old farmer named Also peeking around the corner, and her teacher sternly coming up the corridor, and boldly showed up, and then her parents arrived looking confused.
I wasn't even born when you used to ring the bell, but I've heard how you used to tell stories and light fires and bring desserts, and I don't want to live one more day in lacking any of those things.
Everyone stared at Likely.
Why did you stop gathering?
There was a long, awkward silence. Finally, one of the villagers said,
I don't know, Likely, because of the fog and the cold, and even God deserted us.
Likely thought about that for a minute.
I always wondered if there was a bell up there. I never seen it. I still haven't, in fact. But when I pulled the rope, I felt it and then I heard it.
Likely looked up into the fog and thought she saw the outline of a bell. As the crowd gathered, they began talking to each other, and some people even hugged and lit the chimneys. Slowly, the glow of crackling fire gave off a welcome warmth, and the villagers began to take off their many layers of wool, and they could see each other again. Likely walked up to her dad Seldom, and for the first time in a long time, he wasn't holding the newspaper. As her mom leaned in to hug her, Likely was overcome with emotion, which, as you know, means crying when you don't want to. Someone had a thermos of hot cocoa, was passing around steaming cups in the cold December air, and Likely felt a strange sensation as she looked around. It seemed the fog was lifting. And from that day forward, the people of Lac continued to come out of their houses and ring the bell and bring desserts and gather together, telling stories in the square, piazza, and that kept the fog lifted in the village of Lac. Slowly, the villagers remembered the best way to see God is in the faces and stories of others, and the more they shared, the clearer it became, and sometimes even the sun came out. And the surrounding villages went on with their garbage yard and fresh stuffed anchovies from the sea. But the village of Lac was once again known for its stories, The kind of stories that make people say, that restores my faith in God.